you may relate to the fact that sometimes you're more comfortable living in the known hell than go into an unknown heaven, if you will, or an unknown way of life. After all, who will you be no longer stuck in addiction, sex addiction, compulsive sexual behavior, pornography, anonymous sex, methamphetamine, alcohol? Who will you be? You might lose a sense of what life would be like free from these. This is exciting after all. And there's a perception, there's an illusion that you living in addiction is giving you what you need. I mean, after all, if there was no payoff, you wouldn't do it. As I'm behavioral health and sex addiction recovery coach Rob Lopicola, and today I wanted to talk with you about a price that must be paid. Whether you are courageously battling compulsive sexual behavior, sex addiction, or any addiction, methamphetamine addiction, alcoholism, there is a price to be paid to continue down the road of your addiction. You want to change and transform your life and lead a life where you can express yourself sexually in a healthy way, you can thrive as a healthy individual free from addiction. Well, there is a price to be paid. Either way, you have to pay a price. I'm free from alcoholism, meth addiction, compulsive sexual behavior, and sex addiction for many, many years. And as a life coach and behavioral health coach, I specialize in sex addiction recovery, and I work with men who are battling sex addiction and meth addiction as well, those that are involved in the chemsex scene, the sex and methamphetamine combination. And I help individuals to transform their lives and free themselves by new ways of thinking, new behaviors, a new design of the mindset so that they can thrive as healthy individuals. And if this is you and you're looking to change your life, you're in the right spot. So please subscribe to my channel. I post a new video for you weekly, every Tuesday, with ideas, strategies, techniques that you can learn, apply, practice, and master to transform your life. In the meantime, today, I wanted to talk about the price that must be paid, whether you are in addiction, active addiction, or experiencing sobriety, or in the transition, or want to change. Wherever you are, there's a price to be paid. And I paid a heavy price when I was active in my methamphetamine and sex addiction, compulsive sexual behavior. And to change my life, I paid a heavy price. The good news is once I changed and transformed and experienced a life free from all these addictions, there's no more price to be paid. It's been paid. The transformation, pain and agony and fear have all been paid in full. And I live a life today thriving as a healthy individual, and that's my goal for you, to live a life free from your compulsive behaviors, your addictions, and thrive as healthy individuals. But you have to pay a price. Either way, you have to pay a price. You know, and it's interesting because as a behavioral health and sex addiction recovery coach, a lot of my videos, if you've watched a lot of them, if not, scroll back and watch them. I talk about strategies and techniques to free yourself from addiction. In fact, most coaches and counselors and therapists, when you go on YouTube and Google, they'll talk about, well, what is sex addiction and then how to break free from sex addiction. And I do that as well. But today I want to talk with you about you choosing what you want in your life. What do you want to do? And quite frankly, addiction, whether it's drug addiction, alcohol addiction, sex addiction, meth addiction, whatever it is, addictions are hard to break. They're hard patterns to change. And they're hard thought patterns. Your mindset, very difficult to change that. You can, we do. There are many people that have transformed their lives and now live sober and clean, as we'll call it. I basically call it being present and self-aware and enjoying a life of peace and connection to others and God or higher power or something outside of myself. I personally connect with nature, the vibration of the universe. I love weather, and I was a former weatherman, an NBC weatherman, before my addiction took its toll on me. But I connect to my higher power through nature. I love my connection to the universe. It helps me to stay peaceful and serene. In active addiction, I was so much in my head, so in selfishness and self-centeredness and self-destruction, that it's nice to have a connection outside of me. I'm not in my head when I garden and mow the lawn and lay in the sun and go swimming in the ocean and watch the clouds and feel the heat of the sun and the breeze and the birds and so on and so forth. That's my way of emulating peace and serenity in my life. And I strongly suggest that you do that as well. Connect to something that gives you peace and serenity. But breaking free from addiction is very challenging, very difficult. You may relate to the fact that sometimes you're more comfortable living in the known hell than go into an unknown heaven, if you will, or an unknown way of life. After all, who will you be no longer stuck in addiction, sex addiction, compulsive sexual behavior, pornography, anonymous sex, methamphetamine, alcohol? Who will you be? You might lose a sense of what life would be like free from these. This is exciting, after all. And there's a perception, there's an illusion that you living in addiction is giving you what you need. And after all, if there was no payoff, you wouldn't do it. You're getting a payoff. It's making you seemingly feel good, feel confident maybe. When you drink and get drunk or buzzed, you may live in the world of dreams, all the dreams you want to fulfill and the aspirations. And when you're high on methamphetamine and compulsive sexual behavior, you feel on top of the world. You feel loved and nurtured and wanted, desired. These are all illusions. They're not real. It's all fake. It's all something you believe. It's like a lie you've been told and you believe the lie. So you stay in this pattern of addiction. And basically, it's a cycle. You go from preoccupation, where you think about your addiction of choice, and then it leads from preoccupation to obsession, where you can't stop thinking about it because you continue to think about it. Then you act on it, you get into compulsion, where once you start, you can't stop. And then when you do stop, you're in despair, you're desperate, you're hopeless, you hate yourself, and then you get back into preoccupation, you think about it, and then you obsess on it, then you act on it compulsively, and then you're desperate again. And this cycle continues for life until you break the cycle. But in there, you believe you're getting a payoff. But there's a price to be paid. You're paying a price living that cycle of addiction. And the price, truly, if you really think about it, if you want to get honest with yourself, the price is isolation. You feel inferior and separate from other people. The price is wearing masks. You're fake. You laugh with people, but you're really not laughing. You're suffering inside. You're self-deprecating. The price, another price, is talking negative to yourself, self-deprecation, hating yourself, thinking less than yourself, talking down to yourself. Another heavy price you pay is shame, feeling shameful. If anyone only knew what you were doing, how horrible would they think of you? The shame, the guilt. If you're in a relationship, the lies, the deception, or just keeping secrets, feeling shame about the secrets you've been keeping, and feeling inferior. Your job that you're at, you might feel like you're really not worthy. If they knew the real you, they wouldn't want you there. If your partner knew the real you, they'd want to leave you. If your friends knew the real you, they wouldn't associate with you. If your family knew the real you, they'd have a different opinion of you. So there is a huge price to be paid, and you only have so much energy in your life, so much energy daily to extend out to the world and to extend into fulfilling your life. And you're putting all that energy into compulsive sexual behavior, pornography, anonymous sex, Grindr and Tinder and Bumble and all the other sites. You're hunting for sex, you're hunting for the next fix. I mean, all that energy. Wow, that's a price to be paid. You're so drained, you're not fulfilling your dreams. You're probably putting some of your dreams on the back burner. Think of when you were 10 and 12 years old, what you wanted to achieve in your life. Now you're in your 20s and 30s or maybe 40s, maybe 50s, and all those dreams were put on the back burner. That's a price to be paid. That's a heavy price to be paid. And quite frankly, if you want to pay that price, you're willing to make all those sacrifices for the illusion of feeling good, well, then that's up to you. That's your choice. I don't have any judgment on it, but I'm sad for you because you're living in an illusion that seemingly feels good, but it's really destructive, destroying you, hurting people around you, and you are not fulfilling your potential nor your dreams. Now, if you want to change your life, you want to transform your life where you're a thriving, healthy individual with healthy sexual expression, and you're present, self-aware, and you're enjoying nature and your friends, and you're laughing from the gut, and you feel connected, and you feel clean, you feel good about yourself, you feel confident. You can conquer the world, not as an illusion under the influence of drugs and alcohol, but now you really can conquer the world. You really can fulfill your dreams and passions in life. You really am laughing from the gut and associating with people authentically. You're authentic. I mean, what a great feeling that would be, to be authentic. What a great feeling to get a good night's sleep and feel refreshed in the morning, rather than looking for a 50 bag at 6 o'clock in the morning, wishing you were those people getting in their cars going to work. What reprieve you'd have in your life. The price to be paid to get there is the feelings of fear. You have to overcome that fear. That's what courage is. Courage is doing something in spite of fear. There's a fear in changing your life. Going into the unknown is scary. You don't know who you'll be. The price must be paid of dealing with the withdrawal, not just physical withdrawal, the physical sensation of withdrawal, but the emotional, mental withdrawal. Those cravings and urges are going to come up. A price must be paid to hold on to those cravings and urges and not act on them, and trust by blind faith that there's something better over there in the unknown. There's something better. Blind faith by people who have preceded you that are living differently. I am. And if this didn't feel good, if I wasn't fulfilled, I wouldn't be here. I'd be back where you are. There's something amazing, beautiful, and powerful here. It's here. And if you could go by blind faith and trust that it's there for you too. If it's possible for someone like me, it's possible for you for sure. A price must be paid to deal with withdrawal, to work through the fear with courage. Are you willing to do the sacrifices needed to change? There's a lot of disassociation from your former friends, the former places you've gone to. You have to leave those and start hanging out with new, healthy people, going to healthy places and having healthy conversations. And you may not feel good. You might be hurting. You know why? You have to pay the price of hurt and pain, because that's what you've been running from for the last 10, 20, 30 years. You've been running from you. You've been running from the pain. Now you have to feel it. That's a price that needs to be paid, to feel the pain, feel the discomfort, feel what you've been running from. But that price, once paid, there's no more debt. Your life changes. You transform. So many people have preceded you to a life of being present and self-aware, peaceful, serene. And addicts and alcoholics will call it sobriety, sober and clean. It's on the other side of the price you have to pay that is short-term, a short-term price. You stay in active addiction, the price continues to get paid until maybe one day you die and you lose your life, whether from your addiction or simply a life unfilled at old age. Either way, there's a price. In addiction, the price gets paid constantly, over and over and over and over again. When you change and transform, the price you pay is short term. You pay the price, no more debt, and you live a life beautiful, peaceful, and serene. So it's up to you. What price do you want to pay? You want to stay in your addiction? So be it. You want to change your life? A price must be paid. Either way, you're paying. What price do you want to pay, and what are you willing to sacrifice to stay where you are or go into the unknown heaven. I'm glad you spent some time with me today, and I'm hoping you got something out of this, something that you can sit with, think about, meditate on. And if you want to start your journey from compulsive sexual behavior and sex addiction and lead a healthier life, please watch my free 10-step strategy session. It's on my website, sexaddictionrelief.com. I'll have the link below. It's a 30-minute session with 10 steps that will help begin to change and transform your life, to begin your healing. Start today. Don't wait anymore. Pay a short-term price. The price of change doesn't last that long. The price of suffering is eternal. And again, if you didn't subscribe to my channel, do it right now. I post a new video every Tuesday. Thanks so much for being here. And I hope you have a great holiday, great Christmas, and a happy New Year. I'll see you again next week. Take care.